Pedrosa reveals Rossi's unique racing style. It wasn't about being the fastest, but Valentino Rossi is undeniably one of the most legendary figures in MotoGP history. With 7 Premier Class World Championships under his belt, 2001, 2002, 2003, 2004, 2005, 2008, and 2009, the Doctor has left an indelible mark on the sport. However, what truly set Rossi apart wasn't just his speed, it was his unique approach to racing. One of Rossi's fiercest rivals, Dani Pedrosa, recently shared insights into the Italian's distinct racing style. The Spanish rider, who spent years battling against Rossi on the track, described how the 9-time world champion, including 125cc and 250cc titles, often employed a tactical, almost psychological approach to racing. Rossi didn't aim to be the fastest, they like one. In an interview with GP1, Pedrosa revealed that Rossi's strategy wasn't about outright speed, but rather about controlling the race and unsettling his rivals. Rossi's strategy wasn't to be the fastest, which was my mentality, Pedrosa admitted. Instead, his approach was, I'm going to slow you down. He would block your path, disrupt your rhythm, and force you into making mistakes. Pedrosa further explained how Rossi mastered this technique against some of his biggest adversaries, including Casey Stoner and himself. He did this to Stoner and quite often to me as well. It took me a long time to understand and adapt to his tactics, Pedrosa continued. It wasn't just about speed. It was about playing mind games, applying pressure, and making sure his opponents couldn't ride comfortably. This ability to manipulate race dynamics and force errors from his competitors is one of the reasons why Rossi was such a formidable opponent. He didn't just race, he outwitted his rivals on the track. The legacy of Rossi lives on. Although Rossi retired from MotoGP at the end of the 2021 season, his influence continues to shape the sport. Through his VR46 Racing Academy, Rossi has nurtured a new generation of elite riders who are now making their own mark in the Premier class. Among the most notable graduates of the VR46 Academy are Francesco Pecco Bagnaia and Franco Morbidelli. Bagnaia, in particular, has carried Rossi's legacy forward in spectacular fashion, clinching back-to-back MotoGP world titles in 2022 and 2023. Morbidelli, meanwhile, has also enjoyed success in MotoGP, including finishing as the championship runner-up in 2020. Both riders embody elements of Rossi's racecraft, blending raw speed with tactical intelligence, a hallmark of their mentor's legendary career. Rossi's enduring influence on MotoGP. Even though Rossi is no longer competing, his legacy remains deeply embedded in MotoGP. His approach to racing, both in terms of strategy and mentality, continues to inspire riders across the grid. For Pedrosa, who spent years battling against him, Rossi's methods were a puzzle that took time to decode. But looking back, the Spaniard acknowledges that it was Rossi's ability to control races, rather than just his outright speed, that made him such a dominant force. As MotoGP continues to evolve, Rossi's impact is still visible in the style and mindset of many riders. His influence extends far beyond his own victories. It lives on in those who have studied and adopted his racecraft. With stars like Bagnaia leading the charge, the legacy of the Doctor remains alive and well in the modern MotoGP era.